Indeed, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the casting panel here at DreamLeague. And it's myself, ODPixel, and Andy, aka Draskell. We're ready to take you through Game 2 here between 4Clovers and Empire. The draft is well underway, so we're not going to waste any time and get it right up onto your screens at home so you can see what's gone down so far. And, well, give us a little summary, Andy.
So, interestingly enough, the Night Stalker was banned here from 4Clovers in the first ban phase. I really thought they would ban the Doom. I thought the Doom was the thing that really kind of put all the pieces together for Empire in the first game, because it was their aura carrier. It was the guy who was able to eliminate one of the heroes from the fight every single time. It allowed them to just play as aggressive as they wanted to, but I suppose in the same light that Night Stalker kind of gives you the same thing. It's just that really aggressive, tanky frontline hero that they really couldn't deal with due to the itemization and just the general way their team was built. Then Tiny actually taken here from 4Clovers in response to Team Empire's Wisp first pick. Now, the bans are going pretty fast now, as are the picks. Seems like both these teams have a pretty good idea of what they want to do. And so far, I got to say, 4Clovers, we know they love to play aggressive, and man, they got it right now. Oh,
absolutely. With the snowball initiation and just the volatility of a Queen of Pain in the early mid-game stages. I'm also going to be interested to see what Team Empire do with this IO. Because, I mean, you do not pick IO first pick if your only kind of plan was the Tiny. You know that a team may be thinking about taking that away from you. And already we see 4Clovers kind of thinking about what else could be matched up with the IO. They did ban out the Sven. I mean, I can't remember the last time we saw a team ban out Sven. That's certainly a bit of a switch up. But just scared of what Empire want to pair with the IO. Legions are also taken out. And it's going to be the Bristleback. So that almost certainly will be the combination that they'll be running around the map with IO. And Bristle IO is a pretty formidable duo.
It's one of the hardest dual lanes, actually, I feel, to deal with in the game, just because of how innately tanky Bristleback is on his own. And then you throw in the fact that you're going to have, what, like double the Quill Spray capacity, because not only are you gaining health, which means that you're going to get more Quill Sprays to the Bristleback, which I think also got changed to a lower threshold as well in a recent patch. It might not have been this one. It might have been 6.84C or something like that. No, it was this one.
So yeah, down from 250 to 230.
Yeah. So he lost almost 10% on the damage threshold, which means more quills, more damage. And then on top of that, you just have infinite mana because of the Wisp Tether and just being able to control the runes because you have that Wisp. And I'm assuming it's probably going to be mid. The Ogre Magi Silencer combo, not sure if this is going to be a core silencer or not just yet. There is still one more hero coming out from Empire after this. The Ogre is a bit interesting to me, though, because a lot of the time you pick Ogre when you see weak supports on the enemy team. And sure, Dazzle doesn't really have the greatest tools to harass an Ogre, but he's certainly not weak. I mean, you have Heal, you're going to have Grave and Poison Touch on top of that. I'm not really sure if they're looking for this just as like a making my Bristleback as fast and tanky as humanly possible, or...
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that because we saw how well Empire could fight as 5. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a similar lineup that's just going to be able to crush them in the 5v5s. And obviously, the Bloodlust is going to be very nice here for the Bristleback. And also just with chase down potential, you know, with the slows from the Nasal Goo and Ignite, you know, just being able to close those gaps onto the heroes on the side of 4Clovers is going to be very nice once these fights do kick off. And I do like the silence that was picked up, just something that we haven't mentioned. But against a hero like Tiny, who's obviously got a pretty poor intelligence pool, especially in the early stages in terms of getting out his combo. If you're able to take that away, especially when it's a Tiny that isn't paired up with an IO. So the mana is potentially going to be an issue here for Tiny.
Didn't they just buff his Zinth?
Did they?
His level 1 I think got buffed.
Did it go up a little bit? It did. So the base intelligence went up by 3. But I mean, a couple of +2, well, -2.
No, of course, yeah. And, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Like, you can get to a point in the game where things are going to be looking a little bit awful, but you have to have a pretty bad game for that to come into effect.
Huge issue, yeah.
4Clovers here, they're going to end things up with the Razor. Obvious counter to heroes like Bristleback, even Ogre, who kind of want to be in your face, just throw out that static link, which also got changed. So now instead of only getting damage every 1 second interval, you actually just gain damage over time. So think of it as you just gain the damage quickly instead of gaining it like... You still get the same damage over the same course of time.
But there's no intervals, so...
Right, it just like slowly ticks up, which actually makes it a lot better.
Yes,
because sometimes you can get like one and like, I don't know...
Nearly the second tick,
and then you don't get it.
Yeah.
Right, which just means it's more consistent than it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. It's going to see interesting to see how well the Razor works out here. Final pick now for the side of Empire. Still looking for what we'd imagine to be that second... well, no, another core, really, if it's going to be a core silencer, which with the Ogre and IO picked up, it almost certainly will be. So just his third core for the side of Empire. See what they go for here. Going right down to the bottom. And it's going to be a Slardar, interestingly enough.
Yeah, the Slardar is great against Tiny, and especially Dazzle too, because if for whatever reason they're throwing out defensive weaves, which is a possibility given the fact that there's a bristleback on the enemy lineup, you usually do that when you know that the fight's going to take a little while. And 4 Clovers have a decent amount of burst between Sexy Bambo's Tiny and Pycat's Queen of Pain. But if the fight draws out too long, then things like Bristleback start to deal a tremendous amount of damage. You know, you're going to eat a few last words, you're going to eat some Ogre nukes, and things can get a little bit hectic for you. But I feel like just having that Slardar there just means that you can blow up the Tiny at any stage in the game. Yes. And on top of that, you're going to have even more minus armor with the Bristleback and his Vicious Nasal Goo. So you're going to have multiple ways of kiting the Tiny, making sure that he's not as tanky as he wants to be, and just kind of bullying him around. Yeah,
and I just want to have a quick look at the lanes coming out, because I think it is going to be, in fact, a Core Ogre Magi, and it's going to be Resolution playing it on the off lane here.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to this one. It will, of course, be Goblat playing that support silencer, so switching things around a little bit, and the off lane Ogre, 6.85. Let's see how it goes down.
I mean, he has 7 starting armor.
Double mangoes.
And I think it's like 3.2 health regeneration base, which means that with 2 mangoes, he has 5. Gonna see a snowball.
Snowball straight in onto Silent, caught between 4 of them, and, well, that's going to be an easy first blood there. Pycat claims that one, and always the issue of coming. Well, a beautiful rotation, really, from the side of 4 Clovers, going that deep and being able to get the wraparound.
Same exact thing happened last game, just the other way around. Like, literally the same exact thing. Like, they walk into the enemy woods to get a ward down and die to the entire team.
Well, so off-lane Ogre, what's the plan here? Why the Ogre?
So I think in this lane, what we're likely to see, it really depends on where they want to put the Queen and the Razor. So if for whatever reason he gets the matchup with the Tiny and the Dazzle, then I think that he'd have a pretty easy time. If he gets a matchup against the Razor, he's going to have a real bad time. As we will see another snowball here, but tether away from the Wisp, so he'll be A-okay. It's just this Ogre will get a lot if he's against pretty much anything but Swift Ending, and unfortunately for him, it looks like Swift Ending is actually going to be there. He did skill Plasma Field level 1, so it's going to be a little while before he can effectively zone out with that static link. But there are very few heroes right now who can actually deal with Ogre in lane. And it looks like they're actually going to be putting one of them up against him. So Godspeed, Ogre buddy. Wish you all the best in that lane. In middle, kind of what we were expecting. It's going to be that dual lane of the Wisp and the Bristleback of Yoku and Aloha Dance versus Pycat's Queen of Pain.
This is some intro as well. I mean, we talked about the Ogre off lane. The off lane, of course, for the side of 4 Clovers, is going to be the Tiny. So we're going to see him having to deal up with this dual lane. Bambo, of course, on the roll. You know, known for his innovative ways of playing the game of Dota 2. And we're going to see how he does with that Tiny. And
I like how you put that. Innovative.
Innovative.
It's just Bambo plays, man.
It is indeed. Mid lane, there's going to be a snowball straight forward onto Yoki. Just harassment at this point. It's going to be incredibly hard to kill this duo unless you're able to pick off the IO first. But this is an interesting matchup between these two teams. Lineups aside, go black. It's going to be there with the harassment and with the orb walking. It's going to be hard for Bambo to find that much from this lane. I mean, again, what do you think the decision is? Why put the Tiny bottom rather than mid? Are you just trying to avoid that IO lane, really, for Bambo? You do not want him to go against that.
Well, I think that Tiny is one of those heroes that a lot of people have a very one-dimensional way of looking at him. They say, okay, he's got to be a core, like every single game. But honestly, what's wrong with just having a Tiny with levels who does stun toss combo at like level 8 or 9 and just like takes a support to, you know, no health, or maybe even just straight up kills him? I think that that utility in of itself is always going to be good. And if you do manage to get to that Blink Dagger timing, then you're just a walking killing machine. You blink in, you go for that kill, and speaking of Aloha Dance, going to take some damage here.
Blink 4 from Pycat. He's got a heat jam here as well, and yeah, with a heal bomb, that's one. Saxa moving in, did get himself an Invis Room, will break it now to go on to Yoku. It's going to be quite a hard kill, though, with the pointed Kibble Spray and the passive. Moving in, they do... Oh! They'll get it! The Shallow Graves there onto Saxa to make sure he doesn't go down. They may lose Bambo. Heal is going to be quite enough.
Dead.
Bam! He pops. They do get the return kill. So 1 for 1 there in the mid lane, but it is the mid lane Bristol taken down, and they do just lose that off lane Tiny.
A little bit hectic early game here from both teams, but 4C&L definitely getting the better of it. The only thing to keep in mind is every single time Bambo decides to move around there, Silent was more or less free farming the bottom lane, even though he did give away first blood. He's at 16 CS, highest on the board by a pretty good margin.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is the one of the problems for 4Clover's laning, and as you said, the fact that we are going to expect to see quite a good blink timing on this slider.
I would assume so. It also depends on if he feels like he wants to go blink straight away, or if he just wants to go for like treads, maybe he goes back for Midas and then blink, because it depends on the game and again how you feel about your team timing, and if you feel you're strong enough to fight 5 versus 5. And Empire being that kind of team, I don't think that he'll go for Midas. I think he'll probably just go the standard blink route. And then on top of that, you're also going to have relocates. It doesn't have to just be Yoku this game. Like during the laning phase, sure, you're going to stay near him, but relocating a blink slider ain't too shabby either.
Resolution on the top lane, he's been doing all right for himself. 13 CS he's managed to find up against the Razor and Tusk combination. I guess Tusk has been kind of roaming around the map, so it's just been up to Swift Ending really to maintain control of the lane, but I think Resolution's going to be quite happy with how that lane's gone so far.
Just getting the EXP again is really all that's important. These two offlaners from Empire and 4CL, they kind of function the same in this particular sense. They both deal a pretty good amount of damage. They just need to make sure that they're able to get their levels up, and then once that happens, then you can just go TP counter gank. You can walk around, maybe get a smoke with your team and try to kill a mid or something like that. There's a lot of opportunities for both of these offlanes.
Mid lane, Yoku, 21 for 3 against the Pycat, 18 for 3, so relatively close between these two. Resolution, he's just so damn tanky. Walks in, ice shards, doesn't even care. He's just going to walk around for a little bit.
Look at his health regen.
There's a snow, but they're trying to do what they can, but he's just too tanky. He just walks it off, and space creative, really. I mean, that's too spot. Now Pycat turns
he might be
up.
dead now.
They want to get the kill, and with the heal bomb as well, dropping it low. They do finally find it, but it caused 4 heroes to rotate in for that bit of action. Yoku's going to start to back up the shards, a little bit off point. And they should be fine. They are bottling up. No, they're going to snowball straight here for the IO. The heal bomb as well. These heals have been massive in terms of damage. Double kill for Pycat. Can they get Yoku? I don't know, I want to dive that one. And we saw with the reduced threshold, the amount of quill sprays flying out is pretty damn terrifying.
Yeah, you don't want to hit him in the back anymore. Definitely not. But, I mean, what's really happening this game? It's like Bambo isn't really even an offlaner. He's more just like a roaming tiny. I mean, it's working out.
I said innovative, Andy.
He's been able to get, I think, up until this point, both runes, right? Like, he got the 2 and the 4 minute
he got the 2
rune.
minute and the 4 minute. Yeah, definitely on the bottom.
So because of that alone, he's been able to contribute to these team fights, where normally if he throws out a random Avatos and lane, then he pretty much has to go back to base if he's out of bottle charges. So the fact that he's been able to make so much happen in an early point, he's been involved in 3 out of the 5 kills right now for the team. 1, 1, and 2. He's also got his wand picked up now on top of that.
I mean, so the safe lane Razor, when are we going to start see him kind of come into play? Is he going to move into other lanes, look to push as a team, or will he wait for people to join him up top and look to try and pressure back the Ogre and take the tier 1 there?
I feel like he'll probably just stay here and continually try to pressure.
Go Black. Oh, he's walked into a Bambo and an EGM hiding in the tree line. And this time, Go Black's going to be the one to pay with his life. Easy pick off there, and very nicely done. You got Yoku moving in here with the IO.
It's a bit optimistic of a chase, I feel.
Silent, if he can find the crush though, I think they'll be able to find EGM. A bash might be nice as well. Shallowgrave does come out. EGM in a lot of trouble here, hoping for some kind of neutrals to deny himself to, but not going to be the case, and they do find the return kill onto Dazzle.
By the way, what is the Bambo? Bambo.
What's he doing down here?
He's pinging. He's like, I want to go for a kill.
We got them, guys. They'll never know that I'm here. Oh, Bambo.
He knows the creep timing
He's
very
going
well.
in. They've got the wraparound Pycat there to kick something off. And he has got the Sonic Wave as well. Waiting for... There we go, Sonic Wave. There's the combo for Tiny.
Nice.
And Bambo with a double kill. He had it all planned from that moment that he was hiding away in the tree line, scheming away. Very nicely done by 4Clovers.
Leave it to Bambo to sit in a tree for like 3 creep waves and then just casually walk in and kill 2 people inside of the woods. They do have an aggressive ward though, so I mean, it was obvious that they were kind of in the vicinity.
Oh, that ice shards. What a pullback there, right on the tip of the hitbox, it looked like. The Silent's still going to be okay for the time being, walks around it. 8 for 2. The farm still looking good for Empire, but in terms of kills, 4Clovers are going to be happy with the way this first 7.5 minutes have gone.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we talked about the CS discrepancy a little bit earlier, but when you're finding these kills so consistently, you don't really have to worry about that so much anymore. The one thing that they always have to keep in mind, though, is even though they're getting a lot of kills, they have really not dealt much, if any, damage to towers at this point. they're pretty much only going for the kills. Now, their kind of team functions on getting that experience advantage in the map control, but part of that is also being able to push, and they have yet to do that.
With an invis, he's going to move forward here. Aloha does it again. Double man avalanche. There's the toss as well. Io getting low. Will he go? Yes, he will. They'll get the kill. Bambo pays with his life. EGM couldn't quite save him there with a shallow grave, and he'll have to back himself up. So 1-for-1 trade there. The Io for the tiny. Pycat has come back. What's the Sonic Wave cooldown looking like on the Quap? Is it nearly back online?
40 seconds.
40 seconds is pretty damn lengthy at level 1. Also, just want to worth noting, the scoreboard at the top is wrong. It is not 1-0 to 4 Clovers. It was Empire who won the first game. So blame the admins. We'll blame Scriff. He's a very blamable guy. So Scriff, step your game up, mate.
God damn it, Scriff. He has one. Actually, he has more than one job.
He has quite a lot of jobs. Yeah. Poor old
well.
Scriff.
I can still be disappointed though because I'm technically his dad. So I think it's fine either way. But 4CL coming back here, fighting again, number 2.
We've nearly got the blink here on silent. 2k gold.
Man, they are just looking for kills. Like, farm be damned, they just want to fight.
They can kill Silent when he's got this much money in the bank, because we've got the wraparound from Bambo. If they get the sharp block, which they do, they don't have the mana for the stun, though, from the snowball. Oh, they still get the avalanche and the toss forward. Saxa, I think he says, oh, and they do have the mana here for the snowball. Can they get the kill? No! Multicast comes out from Resolution. They nearly get it, though. Pycat moving forward, has the Sonic Wave healed up. Shallow Grave there as well. Yoku, Aloha Dance, and the gang. Oh, there's a lovely Sonic Wave. That's going to be the silencer dropping. Pycat tries to man it up and take down Aloha Dance. Won't be the case. Now, walking the dog. Swift Ending coming in with the static link. EGM trying to close the gap, but Yoku just a little bit too speedy now. Yoku trying to turn around here. Realizes that the Razor's done a little bit too much damage, though, for him to go 1v1. And will keep himself back. And interesting enough, looks like it's going to be... Is that the mech being built here by the Bristleback?
It could very well be, yeah. I mean, Bristle has amazingly good Incane. Like 2.8 Incane for a strength hero is nuts. So he's one of the few heroes in the game that's strength that can get away with buying this without having to worry about getting any real stat items. And plus, you're already going to have a value stick anyway because it's so good on Bristleback. You always want to be in the fights. So very common build coming out here from Yoku's Bristleback. Does kind of lead me to wonder what Aloha Dance is going to be making, because right now the poor guy doesn't even have boots.
It looks like he's going for the urn first on the IO. And then maybe we'll just see something like the Glimmer Cape come out here to help keep his team alive.
Oh, that was a centaur, never mind.
Aloha Hearts with the drive-by. Sexy Bambo sticking around here. Going straight into the... He's not scared of anything.
Oh, no, he got last worded. All right, now he's got problems.
He's got a lot of problems, and he's going to hide, close his eyes. Imagine this isn't happening, but it certainly does. Silencer will be able to take the kill, and that's a little bit more intel going the way of Go Black. How much has he stolen so far, in fact, on the Silencer? What are we seeing at the moment? +6. Okay. Oh, there's a relocate. Where are they heading?
Base.
Okay. Nothing too exciting.
I was like, wait a minute, where are they relocating when the Bristle has no HP? But that's going to be the completed mech now for Yoku, so his durability in these team fights is going to be completely insane. He just needs to make sure he doesn't eat too big of his static link coming out from Swift Ending, as 4CL do manage to secure the off-lane Tier 1 tower.
Grouping up as 4 in the mid. Tusk is hanging around there. Yoku waltzes it up to the high ground. Says get the hell back. It's going to be the urn here on Saxon. Yoku, they just want to dive this. If they can get a good connection. It's not going to be the case, though. And that just creates space here to get the pressure onto the Tier 1 on the mid, and Empire will look to try and take some objectives of their own.
So over the last couple of minutes, okay, Yoku.
Okay, he's pretty tanky, but the static link's going to do wonders here for Swift Ending, building up that damage. Yoku heading back. The Weave's starting to tick down his armor. He's got the mech complete. There's the snowball. Gets Yoku still low, but Aloha Dance keeping him alive. Yoku, he's going to live. And in fact, it's going to be the Dazzle, the first one to drop here. Saxa getting low, has to back up. Multicast being thrown out to Swift Ending. Pycat has turned up to help out. Saxa will have to TB back to base. And after trying to go in on the Bristleback, it was always going to be a hard kill, and they're just going to be able to turn it around when they've got that kind of backup on the side of Empire.
That was also with Weave, keep in mind. Like, it wasn't just the fact that the ice shards blocked him behind the tower and he had to walk all the way around after getting Walrus punched and snowballed. He had Weave on him, and he had Static Link, and he still didn't die. Like, that is insanely tanky for this stage in the game. Just imagine once he gets maybe one more item or at least a little bit of armor to go with the mech that he already has right now, because he's only sitting at 11, which ain't much given the heroes that he's against in bottom lane.
Oh no.
Blink Dagger now revealed here on Silent. He's had it for a while, but I think that was the first time where they really had a taste of the Blink Rush.
Pikecat, he wants to be careful how far he comes down this lane. Does have the backup of Dazzle moving in. EGM is ready for them to go. Pikecat has got Sonic Wave back online. You've also got Tusk making his way down towards the bottom lane. At the moment, both silent. And the tree line Pikecat just walking through. He might spot him out. Silent just keeping on this there. They'll see each other now. Just gets the scream out. They realize Silent's fairly low, and there's your Ice Shards. Oh, it's going to get him as well. Lovely snowball on the Sonic Wave. Finishes off the Slardar. Now they look for resolution, but the relocate coming in from Aloha Dance. He has bringed in Yoku, and now they might be able to turn this. Moving forward onto Saxa, forcing him back, but Swift Ending coming in here with the plasma field. Now they look for find Aloha Dance with the toss. They'll get it. Double kill for Pikecat, and now Yoku getting Frankazid here with the leash. They won't be able to finally kill him. They do push him back, though. And with the stolen damage, they want to keep fighting. Bambo here with the Avalanche. Toss as well, holding Yoku in place. Now the right click getting below the plasma field brings him down. They do find the kill onto Bristleback. 3 heroes being dropped on the side of Empire, and 4 Clovers picking a very nice fight.
That relocate was a little bit strange. I mean, I know that they had Global Silence up, and that seems great, but I gotta say, the Silencer this game for me has been pretty lackluster. Like, what is he really bringing to the table here? Sure, you can silence a Tusk to prevent a snowball from going off right away. You can silence a Tiny to prevent the combo, and Queen, it's okay against too. But normally when I see silencers in successful games, they usually have some mode of initiation that isn't just kind of like a relocate. Even like a Blink Slardar crushes, it's okay, but you don't really have the burst to kill the hero before the silence is gone. So what is the purpose of the silencer outside of just throwing out a last word and maybe a random ulti from time to time? Because when Yoku gets into that team fight, he gets immediately drained of damage, right? They're going to get this tier 1, by the way, in the safe lane in favor of 4CL. But he just doesn't do enough on his own. Like, he actually needs more people on the team there to deal damage for him.
Oh, might see something kick off in the mid. Empire, they're looking to finish off this tower. Do have the remainder of 4 Clovers coming back towards them. Oh, Bambo, he's right in the middle of the river here. That has been spotted out by Slardar. Posted back in the Avalanche, and it does actually catch Slardar as he blinks in. And with the last word, they do have the shallow grave here to keep Bambo alive. Tosses back Yoku. Might just be able to get himself out of this one. Incredibly low resolution moving forward. The shards. No, the spirits, in fact, there from Aloha Dance finishing off the Tiny. Now with the crush on the Swift Ending. Multicast, ding, 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 coming out from resolution. But the snowball picks him up. They look for Silent. They'll get the kill onto Slardar. Now resolution on the front line, trying to get Swift Ending. He's low, and he will drop. They'll find themselves a second kill. 2 for 1 at the moment for the side of Empire. They'll be happy finding more. Yoku with the wraparound looking towards the Tusk. Closing in on Saxa. The shards are nice though. Do block off that route. And they're going to have to look for the walk around or elsewhere. And they're not going to look for anything else. So it just does end at 2 for 1, but favoring the side of Empire. Nice fight for them in the mid lane.
And that's just the difference between having the coordination and having everyone there at the same time. Like, Empire are a team who actually are super coordinated when it comes to 5 versus 5 engagements, assuming you start off on the same foot. Instead of, oh, we're getting ganked, let's just relocate in and use a global silence and not have everyone there at the same time. So big difference in the last couple of team fights, and good on them for making something happen here, because 4CL, they love to fight. Like, they absolutely love to fight. And if you let them play their own game, they will very quickly take away all control.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's certainly a much closer game 60 minutes in the game one was, because this time I kind of feel that both teams do have a chance. It's going to be interesting to see what the progression is in terms of items. I mean, do you kind of feel that there's going to be a pickup that's really going to turn the tide for one team about, you know, the 20-minute mark when it comes up?
BKBs are always pretty important for heroes like Slardar, just because you don't really want to ever get disabled when you have Sprint on, and plus you also take a lot more damage when you have Sprint active. So I think for the time being, yeah, it's pretty much just BKB. And then maybe for 4CL, Tiny getting a Blink Dagger would probably be the next pickup, because you can just blow up Aloha Dance, right?
Smoke up. They're going to go for Roche here. They do it pretty damn quickly here with the armor reduction they've got as a team. 4 Clovers.
Look at how fast that thing is dying.
It doesn't matter that they're none the wiser, because they're not going to be able to get there in time. And now we'll get the vision here with the weave, but it's too late. They'll get themselves Roche. Silent picks himself the Aegis here on Slardar. And they won't look to fight off the back of it straight away as the weave still keeping their armor fairly low. And just look for the quick D-ward. And that'll be that. But well, for the next fight, having that Aegis, I mean, in these fights that have been very, very close, that can be pretty much the clutch thing to ensure that Empire have a good chance of winning the next one.
And especially when you put it on your blink initiator. So now Silent doesn't have to worry about going in, dying, and then not having any way of putting himself back in the fight or doing more. And now it's just, yeah, sure, I'll just blink crush, you know? Start a 5 versus 5 engagement. Maybe I get blown up at the start, but then I'm going to come back, and then I still have the rest of my team behind me to make sure we can clean up. And hopefully they can, at the very least, get something out of this. Because right now they've only killed 1 tower, I believe, and that was the mid-tier 1 of 4CL. But the off-lane tier 1 and the safe lane tier 1 are still up and running here. So I would like to see Empire maybe take more of an aggressive stance than they are right now. But maybe they're just prioritizing getting Silent that BKB before they want to play too aggressive.
At the moment, it's going to be the top lane, really, where Empire looks to make some kind of a move. Yoku, seeing if he can incite some action here. Any kind of reaction from 4Clovers. It's actually going to be a relocate from a low hard dance, coming down to the bottom to help out Silent and Go Black turn this one onto Bambo, who took a bit of a deep dive there.
That was some hate. That was actually just hate right there. That was like their whole team for Bambo.
Maybe the rest of his team, though, can turn this one around, get some kind of revenge for him. Pycat blinks forward. They look for the punch on Yoku. They're going to walk him down, get that damage deal out. And now with the snowball onto a low hard dance, Io in a lot of trouble. Will go down here. Pycat did manage to claim that one with the BM Sonic Wave. Now, can they get Yoku? They do get the trap up with the ice shards, but he's incredibly tanky here. Armor is ticking down an awful lot, though, and with the right clicks, the physical damage, they do find themselves the bristle back as well. So they lose Bambo on the bottom, but they capitalize very nicely on the relocate back to top and take down 2.
Yeah, I'm surprised they took him back. You're relocating into a tier 1, right? Like, you're standing maybe like 1,000 range from it, maybe 1,500. And he still decided to take the bristle back with him, which obviously ended up kind of hurting them because they lost both of the heroes. And Swift ending got a huge link there, like 170, 180 damage. He was just hitting so damn hard. They're not going to completely lose out, though. They do manage to get the off-lane tier 1 in favor of Empire, but they do lose their off-lane tier 2 in the process. So still 4CL coming out well ahead there.
Yeah, it just really feels that we are really seeing the strength of Razor against Bristleback, because in these engagements that aren't 5v5, where Bristle's only option is to turn and run because he can't just go full crazy and take down the team, it's just such an easy amount of damage for Razor to take. And then even though you have got the Bristle IO combo, it just doesn't really work against the Razor, because Razor's just going to turn his attention towards IO, give him a couple of slaps, and he's gone.
The nice thing about playing Razor in these types of games is no one really can focus you on that team, right? Because you also have to think about things like unstable current. So later in the game, you're going to start trying to cast goo on Razor, or you're going to start like using Ignite or Fire Blast or Last Word, or even using Amplify Damage, and you're just going to get purged. And then you're not going to be able to catch up to him. Slardar and Bristleback, I feel, maybe Slardar less so, but Bristleback is like horrible at trying to stay on Razor, because you can't ever use your snare. You're relying on your team to deal your damage for you at that point, because you yourself will never be able to keep up, because you're just going to get chain purged.
Both teams looking for a push. It's going to be 4Clovers on the mid lane, heading up to top as Empire. We're looking to finish this tier 1. Smoked up. Bambo and Saxo, they do have that blink that's just been picked up by Tiny. Hasn't been revealed yet. Maybe they can use this to get a jump onto Yoku. It's going to be a hard one, those shards, to maybe set something up here. You've got in the sidelines, Aloha Dance in the trees on his IO. Relocate is available if things go to pop for the side of Empire and they need a quick escape. Yeah, it's just going to be Yoku frontlining here. He's quite hard to jump on, especially when you don't know what's behind him. And they need to be careful because Slardar has joined the fray, ready to jump in if need be, and now also Resolution turning up on the Ogre.
Diving at tier 1 is always a risky proposition. If Empire were to do it, though, they would do it now because they do have the use of the Aegis.
Silent. The sprint wants to try and catch out Saxo. Is he going to blink on this one? Oh, he's scared of people hanging around in the trees, and indeed Bambo is there, ready with the blink in. He's going to let this one go by the looks of it. 4Clovers haven't quite found that opening that they want to abuse to turn this fight. When it kicks off, and oh, here we go, moving in. Bambo's going to go straight for it. Look for a toss back. Didn't quite get it on the hero that he wanted. Was just on the creep. Pycat with the blink forward has that haste rune as well. Silent blinks himself out. They do get the slow now onto Silent, and now as the sprint runs out, it doesn't matter. Shards weren't able to trap him up. Now they might just turn. Yoku turning his attention towards EGM, but the snowball coming out in time. There's going to be your global silence coming out here. Yoku just throwing the goo out onto Swift Ending. Both teams a little bit of a clash of heads here, as neither can really find the kill that they're looking for. And 4Clovers are just going to use this opportunity to back themselves off. They don't want to stick around any longer than they need to.
So it's hard to really say who came out on top there because Empire expended a global silence. They missed a crush on PyCat, but oh, here we go. EGM going to be in trouble.
Oh, indeed, getting a crib, but he gets the shallow grave out just in time. Now with the snowball up to the high ground. Look for Yoku. There's the punch to slow him down. Swift turning, doing what he can with the ult. Aloha does come in. That's Bambo for the back with a beautiful avalanche toss. Double kill for PyCat. The Sonic Wave connects as well, and Yoku trapped all on his own. The Quill Spray stacks are building up, but it doesn't matter. They've already lost 3, and it's going to be Resolution and Go Black on the retreat. And a 3-for-1 trade with a beautiful combination of skills, just capitalizing on the fact that Empire were in such a tiny choke point around the Ancients.
Yeah, the sheer burst damage they took there. Once that happens, the fight is almost unrecoverable. Like, even with the use of mech, you've already eaten the full tiny combo, and you take a plasma field to the face as well, and Queen abilities, you're just not going to be able to overcome that difference in health that quickly. So I kind of want to go back to talking about like Bristleback and what he actually is able to do for the team in this particular game. And I really feel like there's a lot on his plate. You know, like there's a lot he needs to do. He needs to be able to stick on people. He needs to be able to like slow them down with the goo, which we already talked about how Razor is such an annoying target for him. But 4 out of 5 of the heroes on the side of 4CL are not good Bristleback targets. Like Tusk, he can snowball away, he can ice shards you, he has Sigil. Razor, obvious reasons with the unstable current. Then you have Queen, who can blink away. Dazzle can just grave himself, and Bristleback has no inherent disables, so he can't really stop you from like walking away or TPing or anything like that. And then you have to worry about Tiny, who has his own disable. He can toss you away, and he has Craggy. So it's like, what does your Bristleback actually go on? Like, that's really what I'm finding a hard time trying to understand is, I mean, sure, you amp somebody, you go on them with the Bristle, could be good, but I haven't seen it happen yet.
No, I mean, 19 to 12. I mean, let's have a look at the graphs, in fact. What's the difference looking like between the two teams? It's kind of back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
Now a slightly larger lead for 4Clovers, but still it's a tiny one. 24 minutes in, 2K lead, and pun aside, of course, Bambo. But they've still got the chance here, Empire, and they're going to look to take it. Their smoke's up, moving into enemy territory here, seeing if they can find a jump onto anyone. 4Clovers playing a little bit more defensively at the moment. As we can see, the Radiant haven't got any vision here on the mid. Bambo, if he starts to come out with this creep wave, he may be in a bit of trouble, but he's keeping himself safe. They've dropped down the ward. They know these two are here. There's the crush. Straight onto Saxa. Then he's trying to bring him down before he gets the snowball out. Will he get it? No! The silence was there, and Deeds of the Curse kicked in. That's going to be Tusk eliminated from the game for 40 seconds.
And those are the kind of picks that you need. And they didn't even have to blow global for that. So they'll have it for pushing the tier 2 if they want to stick in the area. But looks like the rest of
he wants
here.
more straight in onto EGM and the global silence is huge as well. There's no grave coming out. That's going to be the Dazzle gone down. Now Yoku moving forward for more. Bambo blinking in, getting the toss of the Avalanche. This Sonic Wave onto 3. They'll be able to find a Aloha dance on the IO. But a 2-for-1 trade that Empire are going to be very happy with taking. Now the question is, do they go for more? Silent, he's in good enough shape to jump back in if they do chase down, but 4Clovers, they don't want to get too close, and it looks like we may see potentially the team of Empire waited out for Roshan, which will be back up in a couple of minutes.
I think Roshan is the next big point of contention for either team, since all the tier 1s are now off the map for both teams. It's not going to be too quick to react to, which typically means you're going to push out lanes a little bit, and then you'll probably start making your way over to the pit just in anticipation of that Roshan actually spawning. But big thing here for Silent.
Oh, that's a lovely kill for the side of 4Clovers.
Ouch.
Bam! All on his own, Bambo.
I was just about to mention he was going to get his BKB, and then the second I was going to say it, he explodes. Yeah.
Indeed.
I was like, sweet, Silent's got his BKB, you know, this is his time. And then dead.
26 minutes in, 21 for 14. A lot of action between these two sides. 4Clovers stepping it up from the first game. And again, mentioning that score at the top is wrong. Empire did take game 1. 1-0 at the moment in this 2-game series. And game 2, certainly looking a lot better for 4Clovers than game 1 did.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, heck, their early game, what it was like 2-8? Something like that, like 8 or 9 minutes in. They were just non-stop fighting. Bambo was roaming all over the place, getting rune control. I mean, stuff like that as an offlaner, I think, is super valuable. Just taking the runes away from other people is already good enough, but he used those runes to ensure that he was able to help his team get kills and contribute to 60 to 70% of the team's early game fighting. So Bambo, for me, again, one of the standout players on the squad, and he just continues to impress.
Absolutely, and that's the game plan here for Empire. They're playing, it certainly feels like with each attempt, a little bit safer, just waiting it out. That we're waiting for the smoke to come. And now they will use it to see if they can find a jump. Roshan is respawn. He's just been literally just now.
They only smoke
timing
for Roshan. Like,
it's been working. I think they've got away with it every time that they have done it. But this time, with the vision coming out for a second, they might look to try and fight this.
They are stuck inside of the pit right now.
Oh no! Empire, the weave comes out, now Bambo with a 4-man avalanche. Global Silence does come out, they might still be able to turn this one, focusing their attention towards Swift ending, and that's going to be the razor down. That's a big kill. Pike out with the Sonic Wave though, bring them below. The punch will finish off Silent here, and now Saxley trying to move in for more earn, ticking down low. It does Bambo moving forward, but the slow's there from the tether. Now Yoku turning his attention toward EGO, can he get the dazzle? No, Shallow Grave comes out, Bambo again with the avalanche onto 2. Yoku can't quite find the kill onto Dazzle, toss forward onto Pike out. They're trying to find Goblet. There's going to be a relocate back coming in, but it's going to be Io just dying almost certainly. They've found the silencer, and they should be able to find more. No, they brought Yoku in. Hello, reinforcements have arrived. Now Pikecat and Bambo need to be careful. Pikecat desperately trying to find the kill on Io. Will be able to get it. Blinks away from Yoku. Pikecat now with a triple kill. Bristleback being the only one to remain alive on the side of Empire, and it looks like he will be fine. 17 for 25, and again, another engagement, and we were saying pretty much as the Roche kicked off, I was like, Empire, the smokes work for them every time. Not that time. Beautiful ice shots.
A very nice anticipation coming out from 4 Clovers, knowing that Roshan would be up. I think after the first game and the second Roshan, or the first Roshan and the second game, they kind of realized it's like, they just smoke for Roshan whenever it's up. Let's just be there, just in case, you know? And then just throw out a sigil and ice shards, and everything is going to turn out okay when you get a 4-man avalanche toss inside of the pit. The global reaction from Empire, I mean, it was a little bit slow. Obviously, he was stunned for a little while, but as soon as it comes out, they try to turn it. I thought when they killed Swift ending that it was actually going to be a really good fight for them, you know? Like, they take out one of the tankiest heroes, got that static link. We're going to get a chance to see it one more time. As you can see, they're just all stuck right now. There's the avalanche toss combo. Global comes out. Godblack's already almost dead, but they take care of Swift ending real fast here inside of the river. And then after that, I'm like, okay, not too bad. They lost Silent, but still looked okay.
Oh, there's another big fight going live in the mid lane. Sorry, just towards the bottom, in fact, where it's kicking off now. Swift ending, getting low with the stun as well from the Ogre. Pikecat will suddenly be able to get him. Yes, they will. Yoku's found the second one. They're killing spree here. Now looking for EGM. That's going to be a double kill here for Bristleback. But Bambo has turned up, and here we go with the toss onto Yoku. Again, this Bristleback a little bit too hard to find. Get the ice sharp block. Swift ending moving in. Has got the static link back available, but he's incredibly low. They've got the slow hit from the Walrus punch. They're going to try the static link, but it breaks straight away because the curse from Goblack is there. Now Swift ending needs to be careful. Goblack trying to find the kill here with the glaze. Will he get Swift ending? No, Swift ending stays alive here. It's a mega kill streak for Yoku though. He will pay for his life as the Sonic Wave from Pikecat finishes him off. And now with the slow onto Goblack. Goblack trying to retreat. He's looking for a TP out. A couple of punches to do that for the damage. They've got the toss just in time from Bambo. Double kill for Pikecat. They'll take down Silence as well. And whilst this is all going on, Roshan's still there, Andy.
He's just the bystander this time. Normally, all the teams want to kill him.
Resolution, Bambo straight away with the blink onto the eye. Wants to try and deal with a low hard task. Won't quite be able to. Ding, ding, ding from Resolution with a triple multicast onto Pikecat. Bambo getting shoved away here, trying to get himself out of this one, but he's caught out, blown up. They'll take down Bambo. And now, it's going to be Empire. He'll look to take Roche. Oh, there's a buyback. It may not be over. Weave's been dropped into the pit. EGM scattered out by Resolution. Will find a stun. His luck's not with him. No multicast this time. EGM will live. Bambo's there. Is he going to look for this? Potentially, yes, he is going straight in. It's a little bit early, but he still gets the stun out. Now he gets himself back out. Mech's being popped by Empire. Swift ending, turning up with the ult. Now Pikecat, Sonic Wave onto 2. Snowball from the high ground coming in. Aegis has been picked up by Bristleback. Empire did get the kill. EGM's going to be taken down now. Empire looks like they're going to be able to get themselves out or not. Resolution low will drop. A lot of damage coming back into the bit here. Yoku trying to frontline it. He's running towards Bambo. Wants to find the kill. Now the blinking from Silent. Gets the crush onto Tiny. Bambo dropping the cruel spray stacks, building up. Turns around with the toss. Yoku with the goo trying to chase it now with a snowball. Going for the Bristleback. Silent at the high ground. Will go drop. He'll go down for the Earner Shadows damage. Yoku still alive here. There's 2 left on Empire. Now there's only going to be 1 left as Goblack, the only surviving member. As 4 Clovers, they lose Roche, they lose the Aegis, but somehow they still take the fight.
All right, so what's going on in this game, actually? Both teams realize how important that Roshan is, and that's why you saw the buyback, right? Like, buyback from the Tiny, they start the fight off again. Bambo has been on point with his Avatos combos. He's always hitting like 2, 3, sometimes even 4 targets during the team fights. Pikecat's going out of his mind this game as well. He's 19-2. And I also have to give kind of like a shout out to Resolution for having that Aghanims on the offlane Ogre. he is getting multicast like it's his job. I think EGM was the only person that he didn't multicast during that team fight and just instantly kill.
Not a single multicast from the Dazzle.
I mean, that part was unlucky, but here we go middle lane with the help of Swift Ending and his Aghanim Scepter here on the Razor. They're going to be able to make short work at this tower. And they don't have Yoku for another 30 seconds. So I really don't know if they're going to be able to defend this Rax at all.
It doesn't look like it. Indeed, the damage is too much here from 4 Clovers. The pushing power incredibly strong. They'll be able to claim themselves a melee Rax from mid. I'll leave it at that, though. Don't want to hang around any longer. Silent. Oh, is he going to look for a blink? No. The 4 Staffs coming out as 4 Clovers just getting themselves away from that one. And still, it is close. Empire's still in this one, but each and every fight now, it seems to more frequently favor the side of 4 Clovers at this point of the game.
Now that Roshan fight was a little bit brutal for them. I mean, sure, maybe 4C&L committed a little bit more by buying back on the Tiny, but they won the fight handedly. Like, it wasn't a buyback into we trade 3 for 3. It was a buyback into we 4-1, you know, which is a much better exchange for obvious reasons. And plus, they managed to get the Aegis off of Yoku straight away as soon as Roshan went down, so he wasn't able to make that Aegis push into anything big. It was just, okay, I'm dying 2 times in a row, and then the team fight's not going well for the rest of us, so... Yeah, Empire definitely a little bit of a pickle here in game number 2. Wouldn't be too surprised to see 4C&L kind of continue this momentum and just try to assume map control, maybe look to push high ground a little bit sooner, hopefully, rather than later. You don't want to let Silent get too many more items, because up until this point, his item progression really hasn't been that great. Like, sure, Blink BKB is obviously core, but it's 34 minutes in, and he hasn't finished his Vlads yet. Like, he's working towards one right now. He's got the headdress, and he's got the Ring of Basilius, but I haven't really been feeling like him that much. Yoku has been doing okay, but again, it's a hard Bristle game.
It is. So I mean, we've seen that be incredibly evident over these fights.
You really need Silent to bring more to the table, I feel.
It certainly feels like Empire playing from behind here, but we've seen how well Empire can fight in these situations in game 1.
Yep.
They're going to need to bring back some of that magic here for game 2, and they're going to have a quick pause. Apologies for anyone at home who was enjoying the action as much as we were, because the tempo of this game has been quite something. 34 minutes in and 56 kills. So you did the maths quicker than me, Andy, there.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But again, it's just because both these teams have a very similar playing style. They don't really like to sit back. They don't like to split push.
No, not at all. That's not on the menu.
Has Empire ever split pushed? Like, I know they used to pick Lycan back in the day. Like,
they did. They were Lycan.
Silent was a Lycan player, and that was the meta where everyone played Lycan.
Yes,
right? Like, everyone loved to play him. But most of the time, it's not ratting so much as it is like 5-man death ball, which is obviously more fun to watch, because when a team 5-mans, there's more action in the games, and you're going to have team fights. But this game, it's just both teams just slugging it out.
It really is. It really is, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Unless, I mean, at this point, what is kind of the game-ending fight for either side? Is it? I mean, Empire at the moment, I assume they've still got buybacks available on most. Do you want to have a quick?
No buybacks on anyone.
No
not a single person.
That's why I don't do analytical commentary. I stick to that.
Well, I didn't know either. I had to look too.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes at this stage in the game, people start saving for buyback, but when you have your tier 2s alive still, it's kind of lenient, you know? You don't have to say, all right, well, I absolutely need it. I mean, you either save it for Roshan fights, or you save it for defending, like, base.
Yes.
Yeah. And if neither of those things are threatened, then you're just like, all right, fine. Don't need it. No big deal.
I mean, talking about buybacks, best buyback of the series so far, it's got to be that Bambo buyback of that Roche fight. I mean, that fight, team fight that went on for about a good 2-3 minutes, back and forth. And that was kind of like the final bit of salt in the wound there for Empire as he came in to back and did, of course, manage to secure that fight around Roshan. Here we go, back on. And one of the only times where I believe I've seen a player call for a 2-minute pause, and it's actually been 2 minutes. So
I think it was even less than 2 minutes.
Impressive stuff here.
Yeah. Players are getting more punctual as time goes on. They realize, you know, esports is growing.
Time is money.
Can't be lazy forever. Well, I can. But
you can.
No one else can. Got him.
Here we go. Smoke up. They're going to leave Swift Ending revealed on the bottom lane. Let's see if they can draw anything back from Empire. Empire turning their attentions towards the top. And Swift Ending to take this tier 2, still smoked up. They're ready and waiting for someone to jump in on the Razor. Let's see if it happens when the push starts to go up to the tier 3. The smoke duration should still be there for a good few seconds as they go up here. And they've got a bit more time on it. Swift Ending trying to draw people back. At the moment, Silent heading back here. He's going to be the only one back in the base. And now some TPs as well. Resolutions come back. They're starting to go to work here. Is he going to jump in on this Slardar? The smokers run out. We'll see them. Good chuck down to Swift. Silent just getting the amplifier, but now the ice shards. Connecting onto Slardar. Yoku trying to frontline it. Is against this Razor, has been silenced up, so no static link for the time being. Yoku again trying to get the goo down, and now Resolution with the double multicast. Now here we go, Crush from Silent, but Swift Enemy gets forced back. Swift Enemy below the global side, but the Snowball picking up Swift Enemy. He's still alive. Sonic Wave from Pycat, BKB out as well, so they can't do a lot against him. Goblad's going to go down as well as the Slardar. It's 2-0 at the moment. Saxa getting low, but the Shallow Grave from EGM is there. Yoku can't quite finish him off. Bambo trying to chase people up to the north. Yoku's already got himself out of there. Toss and punches onto Resolution. Gets a triple multicast. It might have been again a double. No, can't quite finish on Bambo. He's still alive. Now the Snowball saving Bambo, bringing him in for more. Aloha Dance, he's on his own. Bambo's going to live. He gets himself out. He still survives. Nice Shard's forcing back Aloha Dance. Yoku trying to move forward with the 4-star, bringing Saxa away here. Yoku, can he find anything? The heals from EGM doing a lot here. They just can't kill anyone on the side of 4 Clovers. The creeps are joining forces here with Swift and EGM Bambo, and the Snowball from Saxa catches out Yoku. Killing spree here for the Razor. They'll finish off the Rex in the mid lane, and now they turn their attention towards bottom. Pycat's already there with the push, and it looks like they'll find themselves a second set of racks, and now with the Bristol back on the sidelines for a good minute. 30 seconds for Ogre to come back into this one. Again, 4 Clovers in the dominant position this game, Andy.
So you were asking earlier what would be the game-ending fight. I think we just saw it more or less, and Silent started things off without using his BKB. He just said, you know what? He saw the opportunity with the amplified damage out onto Swift Ending. He's like, I'm going to go in. This is my time to jump. I'm going to get this guy. And then he doesn't BKB. Bambo blinks in. He Ava tosses him with Sprint on, and he just freaking explodes. Like, just instantly died. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you really can't have happen, especially when you're in that critical of a situation. Like, that is the absolute most important part of the game, to not make a mistake like that. And unfortunately for Silent, that just happened to be the case. So a double racks later, and 4 Clovers are looking pretty solid.
And the fact that no one died on the side of 4 Clovers, EGM's play. He's been doing a good job at keeping his team alive. Textbook performance on the Dazzle.
Well, it's one of two things, right? Like, obviously EGM's been on point with his graving, but it's also because Pycat, the Tusk, and of course Bambo are all just in the front all the time. So those 3 are the ones who are just making it so Empire don't have an opportunity to go on him. So in that case, it's pretty much reliant totally on Goblack to get a global, right? To make sure
he's got to get the timing right.
Yeah, like Silent has to go in. There has to be like a blink crush into a global and hope that during that window you can take out a hero. Because if you don't, they're going to turn it around. Yeah, that's just what's been happening most of the game.
And they've got to be quick as well. Tusk with the Greaves, you know, he's going to pop that as soon as the Global Silence comes out, get everyone in the Snowball for the duration, and suddenly it's going to be even harder for you to capitalize on that window.
Yeah, life is definitely hard. And that's why I was kind of talking about earlier in regards to the Silencer pick in general. You typically want a lineup that can guarantee a kill for you with the Silencer. Like, way back, people were picking, like, Silencer with Bat Rider and stuff like that with Centaur, and you would just pull somebody really far out of position, and that would ensure that your global was always effective. But I feel like it's already past the point where Empire are able to make something like that happen. It's more either a reactionary global or, okay, I hope we can kill him in this global, and we might not be able to.
Top lane, looking for a potential fight here. Empire are smoked up. They're ready to try and find a jump, but the Weaver's been placed perfectly by EGM. They're already halfway through it, so they can have a lot of armor. This is going to be very hard for Empire to fight into. I think they realize this is not really the time to make that jump.
They're also tanky.
It's exactly, who do they jump on at this point? It's so hard for Empire to find the fight.
Even without any weave armor at all, Swift Ending still has...
Okay, here we go. They're going to try it. Sexy Bambo straight on scope. Like the Global Silence has come out here. Yoku going to work on Saxa, bringing him low. Has put the guard in crease now. And in fact, the defensive E-Blade coming out from Bambo, keeping Tusk alive here. The snowball across the team fight. It's just Silencer to be the first casualty at the moment. Silencer's going to go down as well. Yoku trying to front line as low. Does buffs him up. Pycat blinking in. Now with Bambo, they pick off the eye. That's a big kill. Yoku's put the BKB. With the Shallow Grave onto Bambo. No one's going to die yet again on 4 Clovers. They take 4 heroes from the side of Empire. GG is called. And the series will end 1-1 between these two teams.
So I gotta say, completely different 4 Clover than we saw in the first game. Like, without a doubt. Just they totally housed Empire for the first, what, 10 to 15 minutes of the game. Then Empire started to show, you know, a couple signs of life. They weren't just taking it on the chin anymore. They were finding some fights of their own. They also managed to get Roshan, I believe, 1 time. And I think it was the first one, right? That died, that went in their favor. Because they smoked into the pit one time, right, with Amp and